Over the past few days, a person who is close to you has been noting a significant transformation in your personality. They have observed that you are slowly but surely evolving into a different individual, a change that is not merely superficial, but rather deeply rooted in your core. Their observation is not based on mere hearsay or conjecture. Instead, it is grounded in a tangible sense of tranquility that they perceive in your absence. This tranquility is not just a fleeting moment of calmness, but rather a consistent state of peace that they have noticed in your absence. They interpret this as a clear indication that you have distanced yourself from the negativity and toxicity that once characterized your interactions. The constant arguments over trivial matters, which were once a common occurrence, now seem to be a thing of the past. You are no longer inclined to engage in these futile debates, and instead, you have chosen to focus on more important aspects of life. This change in your demeanor is not going unnoticed. It is being taken seriously, prompting a deep reflection on the part of the individual close to you. This reflection is not just about the changes you have undergone, but also about the remorse and sorrow that they are beginning to feel. They are starting to realize the emotional anguish and physical pain that their actions have caused you. The regret is beginning to sink in, and they are grappling with the fact that they were the cause of your suffering. The scales of regret are tipping in your favor. They are beginning to understand the absence of mental peace that has been a constant companion since severing ties with this connection. This absence of peace is a stark reminder of the consequences of their actions, and it is causing them a great deal of distress. The pain they inflicted upon you is haunting them. It is a constant presence in their mind, creating an internal conflict that they are struggling to resolve. They are tormented by the guilt of their actions, and they are fearful of the consequences of their choices. As they confront the reality of their actions, they are beginning to acknowledge your true qualities. They are starting to see the depth of your character, the strength of your spirit, and the beauty of your soul. They are starting to realize that they have been missing out on the chance to have a deep and meaningful relationship with you. This realization is leading them to yearn for a second chance. They are beginning to understand the value of your friendship, and they are desiring more than just a casual relationship. They are starting to feel a profound soul bond with you, a connection that is urging them towards a stable commitment with you. They are beginning to understand that their actions have not only caused emotional anguish, but also physical pain. They are starting to comprehend the depth of the damage they have caused, and they are beginning to feel remorse for their actions. Their regret is not just about the past, but also about the future. They are starting to realize that they have missed out on the chance to have a deep and meaningful relationship with you. They are starting to understand that their actions have caused them to lose a chance at a fulfilling and rewarding relationship. As they reflect on their actions, they are beginning to feel a sense of regret and sorrow. They are starting to understand that they have caused you pain and suffering, and they are starting to feel remorse for their actions. The individual close to you is going through a deep reflection and introspection. They are beginning to realize the consequences of their actions, and they are starting to feel regret for their actions. They are starting to understand the value of your friendship, and they are starting to feel a deep longing for a second chance. They are beginning to understand that their actions have caused them to lose a chance at a fulfilling and rewarding relationship with you. The path we've chosen, or rather, the path I've chosen, is the only one available to us at the moment. It's a path that has been marked by distance and separation, a chasm that I, in my folly, helped to create. I now see that I was the one who sparked this divide, initiating a series of actions that I deeply regret. I've come to realize that I was the architect of this distance, the one who set the wheels in motion. I was the one who chose to engage in games that were not just frivolous pastimes, but were loaded with consequences. I wish I could turn back the hands of time and undo those actions, but life doesn't work that way. Perhaps, in retrospect, it was essential for me to go through this process, to ponder my thought patterns, and to reconsider the way I was leading my life. I held the belief that events unfold as they are meant to, that there's a grand design to everything. I believed that these events were revealing the necessary changes I must make in my life. I was patiently anticipating a heartfelt message from you, a message that would express your emotions and love, a message that would bridge the gap that I had helped to create. But as time passed, no such communication came my way. I was left waiting, hoping, and yearning for a message that never arrived. I acknowledge the selfishness inherent in my expectation. I was expecting you to initiate contact, to reach out to me, when perhaps it was my responsibility to do so. I was expecting you to bridge the gap that I had helped to create, when perhaps it was my responsibility to bridge it. I was expecting you to be the one to make the first move, when perhaps it was my turn to make the first move. In retrospect, I understand that I was the one who pushed you away. I was the one who created the distance, the one who sparked the separation. I was the one who set the wheels in motion, and I was the one who watched as the chasm grew wider and wider. The weight of your absence is profoundly felt, causing intense internal distress. I ache with the realization of your loss, and the pain is unbearable. I long for your presence and miss you deeply. I long for your presence in my life, for your laughter, for your smile, for your voice. I miss the way you used to look at me, the way you used to touch me, the way you used to speak to me. I miss you in every way possible, and the pain of your absence is a constant reminder of what I've lost. The pain of your loss is a constant companion, a shadow that follows me everywhere I go. It's a pain that I can't shake off, a pain that I can't ignore. It's a pain that I can't escape, a pain that I must learn to live with. I understand now that I was the one who pushed you away, the one who sparked the separation. I understand now that I was the one who set the wheels in motion. And I understand now that I was the one who watched as the chasm grew wider and wider. I understand now that I was the one who pushed you away. And I understand now that I must live with the pain of your absence.